So the CIA and the military saw Kennedy as a real threat to national security. In particular, one CIA officer by the name of William Harvey just called him a traitor, just felt that Kennedy was a communist and a traitor, and he needed to go.
You're listening to The Bell Howard Show.
I was a big deal in 1996.
And now,
the internet is destroying America and giving me a comeback.
Here's your host.
Podcast is like a radio show, but with slightly fewer commercials.
Bell Howard.
All right, let's take a call from Les in Topeka, Kansas. Les, you're on the Bell Howard Show.
Hey, well, thanks for taking my call. You know, I get into some really weird stuff online. I check out some weird websites on the dark web, but I've never been on one like this before.
All right, what kind of website is it?
Well, I recently got sucked into this weird online game on the dark web. And it's a game that starts online, but the game involves getting instructions and carrying them out in the real world. And what they make you do is not for the faint of heart.
All right, you say they, but who are we talking about here? Who's they?
The game seems to be connected to a real-life cult that's following an ancient mystery religion. And when I tell you who is behind this cult, it will blow your mind.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, keep going. I mean, it sounds good so far. So what happened?
And you'll never believe what happened next.
Yeah, probably won't. I can't wait to look. Go ahead, Les. I mean, this is it. You're on this. You're on the air. Let's hear the details. So you join this online game.
I usually don't enter personal details into these websites, but somehow the hypnotic power of this game got me to enter my real address. And then just 1 hour after I shut off my computer and was about to go to bed, I heard a knock at the door. I opened the door to find two guys in black standing there. I asked them who they were, and you'll never believe who they said they worked for.
And who did they work for? Look, I want to know, who did they work for? Come on, Les, stop teasing.
I was wondering the same thing, but I didn't wonder long, because what happened next completely warped my entire reality.
Keep going, Les. Come on. And what happened?
I was blindfolded in the back seat of their car, and we drove for hours. Then I heard the clash of a large gate behind me. The car stopped, and then they let me out. And when they removed my blindfold, I gasped. What I saw shook me to my core.
Okay, and then what was it? What did you see? Come on, look, we're coming up on a break here, Les. Get to the point here. Get to the meat of the story.
I was taken to a room with blood-red walls, and there was an obelisk in the center of the floor, going up maybe 3 meters. And then some strange chanting started, and a tall, dark figure emerged from kind of a like a sliding Japanese paper door. You know those paper doors that they kind of have the crisscross lattice in the white paper.
Let's keep going. All right, yeah, I get it. So who is this guy?
And then he removed his mask.
Yeah, and who was it?
And you'll never believe who it was.
All right, I'm getting tired of this cliffhanger stuff, and I'm getting kind of bored with your story, Les. I mean, come on. I told you we're coming up on a break. This is radio. Time is money here.
And when I tell you how I got out of this cult, it will blow your mind.
Yeah, well, that's not going to happen, Les, because I got to go. I'm sorry. I got a break coming up, okay? And I usually don't do that. You know, cliffhangers, even if they're interesting, like getting sucked into a cult through a game you play online on the dark web. Wes, is he still on the line? No, it's too late. All right. Well, time for one more caller. Let's go to Michael in Dublin, California. Michael.
Hello.
Go ahead, Michael. You're on.
Well, I was coming out of my house, and I looked down, and I said, by Jesus, I'm wearing my pants on backwards. I look around, make sure no one saw me, and I run back in the house to put my pants on right ways again. Pray God it never happens to me again, like.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, that's interesting, Michael. Michael, I really want to know how this story ends. Wow, what a cliffhanger. Just stay on the line, Michael.
That's the end of the story. After that, I went to the store
All
to buy
right, Michael. Can't wait to hear the rest of that. Stay with us
That's it. That's the end of it.
for the exciting conclusion of Michael's story after the break. All right, well, I'm joined now by CIA agent, real life CIA man. He's chief interrogator and head of PR for the Fresno office here in California. He's written a book. It's called Brain Laundering, How the CIA Picks Its Marks, Its Dupes, and Its Patsies. It's Cyrus Dewley. Mr. Dewley, welcome to the Bell Howard Show.
Thanks for having me, Bell.
It's an interesting book, but I told you I ordered it last week, but they left the package on my doorstep and someone stole it, and I couldn't get another one in time for this interview, so sorry about that, but I love the description of the book on Amazon.
Well, thank you so much.
Why did you write this book?
I thought it was high time that someone wrote something positive about the CIA and the work they do. After all, they are keeping us safe, gathering intelligence in other countries, so little Timmy and Tammy America can curl up in their star-spangled comforters nice and cozy and wake up in, well, George Bush's words, a world safer for democracy. Another reason I wrote the book was I wanted to get back on book TV because I felt the CIA needed a more positive presence there as well. There was just a rash of anti-CIA books that came out in the 90s, and their authors were rather uncritically interviewed by Brian Lamb.
Yeah, you got to get back on that show. But I've always thought while little Timmy and Tammy are curled up in bed in Marin County, little Mohammed and Mandy, I can't think of a female Muslim name, they're getting waterboarded or having their fingernails pulled off because their dad's on the most wanted terrorist list, So what do you say to people who criticize the CIA and say they get more wrong than they do right?
First of all, the image of children being waterboarded is not entirely accurate. We would never torture children, but we do allow them, if they want to, be present when we torture their parents. And some are perfectly fine with it. What is more likely, if we were looking for someone, we would take their adult relative or take an adult relative of the suspect and nail them to a cupboard and threaten to attach a car battery to certain sensitive areas of their body.
One of the interesting parts of your book is you talk about how the CIA views the American public and they separate them into three categories. Can you talk about that?
Sure. Thanks to the public education system, we are allowed access to everyone's aptitude tests, namely the SATs. And so we will look at those SAT scores because based on those scores, we divide the American public into three tiers, upper, middle, and lower. And the upper level, the highest scores, we try to recruit. Okay, now for the lowest scores, especially the antisocial, maladjusted, we try, how should I put this, to gently nudge them into committing acts of violence and terror.
So you're talking about the assets that you cultivate, the weirdos, the outsiders, the people who unknowingly do the bidding of the agency.
Lee Harvey Oswald,
Did you just admit that Lee Harvey Oswald was a CIA asset?
Oh, gosh. Okay, I think I did.
Okay, and what about the middlers, the people with mediocre SAT scores?
For them, excuse me, we just want their minds and their emotions. We try to cultivate their support for the cause of the CIA and American foreign policy through hyperbolic political commentary, sensational news stories, constant attention must be paid to crises, foreign and domestic. So they must be taught that having a strong opinion is the only thing that matters, and that having the correct opinion may align them with the in crowd or the cool people in society, so to speak. And we want their consent. That's all. It's a war for the mind.
Mind wars. Well, that's interesting. I didn't think the CIA cared of what people thought. They were just out there pulling the fingernails off of a car mechanic in Angola.
Oh, we do that too, but we're also very much interested in what Joe and Jane Chicago, or Bill and Betty Iowa, or
Dan and Della, Texas.
Dan and Della, Texas. Very good. Their aspirations for a better life must be harnessed. So, so they must be constantly enticed with self-improvement programs, lifestyle enhancement trends like yoga and genital magnets, seminars and investment opportunities, timeshares and exotic locales, all the things you think about when you're at your crappy job,
Geez, I mean, my life is just flashing before my eyes.
Jawline enhancement exercises.
Oh, yeah.
Diets for simpletons. I mean, simplified diets like only eating meat. If you want X, you only have to do Y, etc.
Yeah. You're speaking my language.
A Greek study shows how you can eat as much cheese as you want and never gain weight.
Oh, yeah. Keep talking, Dewley.
This one trick will melt the fat around your waist like butter in a microwave.
Oh, yeah.
This 5-minute face exercise will get rid of neck fat and boost your sex drive.
I mean, I don't know why. I'm incredibly hungry right now, and I also want to get ripped. I want six-pack abs that look like a freshly baked tray of dinner rolls.
This one trick will 10x your business in less than 5 days.
Wow. How do you do that?
Well, my point is that the middlers, as we call them, are very difficult to manage and require constant media creation and management of opinion and distraction. We just want them constantly distracted and in a state of anxiety. So they're either running on a treadmill, literally, or figuratively in their daily lives.
I knew I wasn't smart enough to be in the CIA, and what you just said now, I mean, you pushed all the right buttons with those outrageous titles.
Well, let's put it this way. You're not dumb enough to be a mind control slave, but you did buy a Bowflex, didn't you? Admit it.
You nailed me. I think I still have a Bowflex in storage somewhere in Mountain View. But what about my producer, Wes? So he's on the spectrum and not on the good side. So what do you think about him? Is he a potential asset?
Well, we do have a file on him.
I knew it. I knew you guys had a file on him. He's got Wes, I told you, he's got that look in his eye, doesn't he? He's got the I killed a cat look.
No, I think it's more like I caught Daddy wearing a dress once kind of look.
Wow. Well, now that I've got you on the show, I want ordinary people to kind of get a glimpse into your thought process, and I'd like to play a little word association with you.
Oh, I don't know about this.
Come on, it'll be fun.
I don't think I'm comfortable with this.
Hotel.
Check out.
Black.
Ops.
Disney.
PSYOP.
Russia.
NATO. TikTok.
Oliver Stone.
Payroll.
9/11.
Missiles.
Joe Biden.
Checkout.
And we're done.
Wow, I feel much better.
See, it wasn't so bad.
I'll get you for this.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. And remember, get the book, Brain Laundering. It's an amazing insight into how the CIA operates. And
yes, order now from the website, the CIA, and we'll throw in a free adult coloring book. That's a coloring book for adults, not adult-themed coloring book. It has to do with the history of the CIA and the contribution of of women.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dewley, ladies and gentlemen. The CIA, they're on your side. Well, folks, that's the show for today. I hope to talk to you again soon. And I hope we have enough energy to do the show next week. Remember, if you live in California, don't charge your electric car this week, okay? So some of us have podcasts to do. So it's not all about you and your Tesla, all right? So until then, remember, stay safe, stay sane, and stay free. Bye now.